Welcome back to Getting Her to Say I Do, my video dating blog of my journey as I go through the process of dating, trying to date and find somebody to be with, and then the next step into engagement, and then marriage, and all that. This beautiful, wonderful journey. Just kind of tracking my progress. Today I've been single for an entire year. Not really. Like it was over today, but I didn't really accept it. I understand it for a couple months. Um, so that's where we're at today, and that sucks. But I have some dope friends. So eventually I'll put them on here, and we'll get to hang out with them some. But I've been hanging out with them some and just kind of talking. And so I sat up with one of them who's like an empath. Like she's super like emotional, and like all of her decisions is like it's clearly emotional based. And then we were talking about the difference between using intellect and then using emotion to make decisions and stuff like that. So we're going to talk about that today, talking about communication more so, but also friends. So I was hanging out with them, and they're wonderful because they always feed me. It's nothing like having a home cooked meal, and they're women, they're girls, so that's also dope because I talk to my guys. Now I was hanging out with one of my guy friends too, and I bounced the same question off of both of them to see the difference in opinions. One's a little bit closer to the situation, so they gave a little bit more insight. But I just kind of sat up and talked to them, and we were talking about relationships and desires and intention. I was like, okay, well, I like this in a woman, I like this in a woman, like, and we were asking questions, and it was so dope for me because, like, I'm not a great communicator, and I'm not good at holding conversations. But for my thing, like, first is physical attraction, and then the second one is substance. The only way you can understand and know if someone has substance is to be around them, to listen to them, and to share conversation with them. But when I was reading this book, and it was talking about kind of communication. The only way that you can have communication is if you're speaking about something that you both have, like a that you have in common. Not the fact that like you and they both enjoy or like or dislike that thing, but something that you both can speak on and speak about. So that can be politics, it could be religion, it could be your faith, it could be work, church, school, sports, just something that you both are engaging and speaking about. So with that, whenever I'm speaking to someone, you find common ground, and that's how you have communications, finding something in common. And you realize that whenever you're speaking with someone, you get that little spark, and like you click right away. It's because you're speaking about something, or you're talking about something that you both care about or are both interested in, and so you have a good conversation based off of that. So we sat up and talked for hours, like hours. And it was crazy because time just went by. And for me, that's a little bit draining because I'm not emotional. So to just sit there and like pour my feelings out and my thoughts and my emotions, just like to pour them out and express them, drained me. Like I went home tired, like I had been in the gym all day. I was drained, but it was mental drainage. So like I was even more tired and exhausted, and I had to like go away for a couple of days and just like heal and recover and get back to where I needed to be because I had just like flexed those muscles or worked out those muscles, which is super dope because that's where you need to be. So understanding, knowing this person is super big on emotions, I think I'm pretty well balanced in that. But knowing that and understanding that, like I have to be aware of the things that I say and the way that I say them. Because while I may not mean it a certain way, if they take it a certain way, I could hurt their feelings or potentially hurt their feelings. And when you think about like how it's supposed to be, guys are thinkers with their head, women are thinkers with their emotions. So understanding and knowing that I want a woman who is empathetic. I like nurses. Like you have to be in order to love people and take care of people. You have to have that characteristic. You have to have that. You have to care about people. So knowing that and understanding that, I have to watch what I say and how I say and how I respond and how I act and how I do things. Because a lot of times I just do stuff, and I mean we just take it and go. But when you're around someone like that, then you have to understand that. So, um, that's super dope. Like in a relationship, I want something that I'm physically attracted to, but I also want to be able to sit and talk for hours. Just sit and talk because that's healing. It's healthy. It's necessary. I don't want to do it every day. My God, please don't want to do that every day, but a couple times a week or twice a week would be perfect, I think. But like that's important for a relationship to know and understand that person's thought, their feelings, their burdens, their concerns, their worries. And I realize that when relationships are healthy, the communication is very, 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 very open. It's normal. It always happens and it's not forced. But when relationships are unhealthy, then that communication is severed and it's not happening, and like there's a disconnect. Um, so that's important for me and understanding, knowing, and looking at. So, anyways, we were talking last night, and they were like, "Listen." So my first one is physical attraction. My attraction. My second one is depth, and like I need someone who has some substance, and then my third one is Jesus, because I absolutely love Jesus. Jesus is the first and most important thing in my life. Most of the time, sometimes I be tripping, but God brings me back. But I can see if you're attractive or not just from looking at you. I can't see if you love Jesus or not just from looking at you. I mean, people say you can, but I mean, not really. And then after that, then I want to know if you have substance, and if you have that, then you're a regular person, a real person, and you love Jesus. That's the most important thing. So like, it's not that those two are more important; they just kind of help regulate. So we were talking about that, and they dropped the dopest thing, and we're like, "Oh my goodness, it's been bugging me." So I told them about my five. I was like, "There's five of them." They told me to throw the whole list away, and said, "Whatever your most important thing is, you need to make it your second most important thing, because you obviously don't know how to handle that or use that intelligently, because I'm putting too much emphasis on physical attraction, which I'm 28. I mean, yeah, that's extremely important to me if you're physically attractive, because we're going to have kids and we're going to be acting, live life. But in the long haul, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years from now, that's still going to be important, but the other ones are going to be more important, even more important. So they're like, whatever your second thing is, like, which is depth, you need to make that your first priority. So if she's fine, don't even think about it, don't even worry about it. You need to figure out if she has depth, and then the only way you do that is to hang around her, be around her, understand her, know her, and stuff like that. It was the dopest thing, and I was like, oh my goodness. And I'm just cheesing and taking all this in. Like, this is the reason why I enjoy being around women. Um, and it's difficult because it can be misleading, like they think that you're pursuing them, or you get feelings when you're not intending to get feelings just because you're around someone like that. But to understand and know the landscape and where you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to be, it just kind of gives you like a gauge, like, okay, this is normal, this is not normal, this is where you should be, this is where you shouldn't be. Like, it kind of gives you like a range, like, okay, I'm kind of in the ballpark, but this thing I definitely need to take care of, this thing I don't need to take care of. But they also have women around them, so it opens up a whole other avenue. But I thought that was super dope, that they said that. So I've thrown my whole five away in the trash, and I'm starting from scratch with this new knowledge and revelation, and understanding that my judgment is extremely flawed, because it's based off of desire more so than need, necessity. Um, but it's still also dope to like have that information to be able to take it and use it. So that's where I'm at right now. Uh, Maybe people know stuff that I don't. I should start talking to people more and listen to them. But also, my bros, like, I was hanging out with another friend, the guy, and he was like, "Yeah, bro, shoot your shot. Like, go for it, because she's extremely attractive." And he's like, "That's it." But I like that advice too. That was some really good. That was my favorite advice. I was like, yes. But with that understanding weighing both, I believe that that's probably the best option. Now I can find something that's right and then pursue it and get where we need to be. So that's it for getting her to say I do. My video dating journey. I think I might change this to getting me to say I do, because I even though there's a lot of potential women out there that are very attractive, I'm chilling, like really just like chilling, like there's no need or desire to rush. Like when holidays come, and even during like this quarantine time, you think like, oh, I'd like to spend this time with somebody, getting to know somebody and stuff. Or like even when big stuff happens, like I like to share this with someone. But at the same time, just like loving myself and understanding myself and knowing myself is super dope. So like I'm kind of on this thought, like I'ma just live and do me and be great, and she'll come along when it's needed instead of me trying to force it, because like God has everything, like He's already planned it out and already set it in place. Um, so if I'm stressing about a girlfriend or someone to be with here, like way over here, and God hasn't set it for me to find her and be with her and engage her till here, I got all this time in between that I'm wasting worrying about something that ain't even for me right now, which is a waste of time. So rest. That's where I'm at. I'm resting and hanging out, but also enjoying it. It's cold today. It was cold yesterday on Easter, and God blessed us because a lot of us need haircuts, so that's okay. And this beanie just made me look extremely attractive. I don't think it's the beanie, but something about it. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in to Get Her to Say I Do. Y'all stay safe and well and healthy. Um, and hopefully we get to get out of our houses soon.